Hello Internet and welcome back to the Story Nook. Today we are going to be reading more Wizard of Oz and we are going to be reading, I'm going to be reading a lot of it actually. So before we get into that, go ahead and grab your tea, your water, your juice, your coffee, whatever it is. And we're gonna enjoy this. I'm drinking more of Powerade Sour Green Apple. I didn't finish it from the last time I recorded this. And for anyone confused as to what I mean by I'm going to be recording a lot of this, there was confusion. My husband bought me a new bed frame for Christmas and a mattress to go along with it. It was supposed to arrive the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. However, neither arrived. The websites did not update telling him when they would arrive. They just said end of day Wednesday. Then it said Friday that they would arrive Friday between like 10 and 3 o'clock. 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. That eventually changed Friday to end of day today, and the only thing that arrived was the mattress. It arrived at around 8 something at night because that's when I took a potty break during my podcast, Sonic 2nd, to, one, go check the door and make sure my cat came inside for dinner and all that good stuff. And the mattress wasn't there then. My husband came in a little after, where it was just like, hey, they blocked the door with the mattress. And the bed frame never showed up. And I got on it because he ordered it from Walmart. And Walmart, their thing doesn't like send email alerts or whatnot like Amazon does. So I was on Walmart looking at it, and I'm just like, sweetie, the bed frame's not even left. All it says is they printed out a sticker the previous Monday, the week, like it was like November 26th or whatever, that they had printed out the sticker. Because it was the Monday before Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving was last week. So yeah, it was like November 25th, sticker printed in California. And like he called them this Monday, and they're just like, oh yeah, we've had issues with this seller, blah, blah, blah. You might want to just cancel it because they haven't given you any information or updates or whatnot. And he was trying to cancel it. But before that, he called and had me set up through a firm on Amazon to order the bed frame, or a bed frame that I liked, and it pretty much the exact same style, just from a different seller on Amazon, and a different seller from the one that was on, whatchamacallit, on Walmart, where he ordered his and paid through a firm. And so now he didn't cancel his, and when he went to cancel it the next day, it wouldn't let him cancel, and it's like, oh, it's gonna arrive Friday according to the thing. So I tried to cancel mine Tuesday before it even said it shipped, and it wouldn't let me. Mind you, I had ordered this Monday, December 2nd. December 3rd, I tried to cancel the order, and it wouldn't let me. And it hadn't even processed through a firm that, like, yeah, it's a done deal or whatever. And it wouldn't let me. And he was just like, I don't know what to do. He couldn't figure out how to cancel his. There wasn't an option. I logged in on the website, the desktop website of Walmart, through his thing to try to cancel it. There was no cancel option. It was just contact seller. And it popped up like a text box. And there wasn't like a specific thing, hey, cancel order. So I didn't know what to do. So now I am at my house, and today I get, because originally I was just like, you know what, I called a friend. He's got like a truck van because he's like damn near 7 foot tall, if not taller. He is huge, gigantic. Poor thing barely fits in my house when he visits. And I was just like, hey, you have a big vehicle. Here's the situation. He's like, well, what size is the bed frame? And I'm like, sweetie, I know you might need a new bed frame, but this is a twin. Ain't nobody in your place gonna need a twin. And he's like, shoot, was hoping. And he agreed, like, to come over on the 14th and be like, hey, I'll take it to return it with y'all. And I was gonna feed him and put gas in his car. Him and his fiance. because mine originally wasn't going to arrive until December 12th. However, the Amazon one showed up today, December 6th, and I guess, like, it was delivered before I was even on lunch. Like, it got delivered before I went on lunch. So, between 10 and 11, my package was delivered. The bed frame was delivered from Amazon. Walmart told my husband, like, when he was on lunch, it said it'll be delivered 2:45, and I'm just like, yeah, they told you that before, and then it was a lie. And I'm just like, well, if it's not there by the time I get home, I'll stick by the door and watch to see when it gets delivered. Lo and behold, I get off at 3:30 and I get home around 4-ish. This nothing. I call my husband, let him know. And he's like, let me check. Oh yeah, it says end of the day now. And I'm like, of course it does. Of course it does. So now I'm just over here waiting to see if it arrives so that I can hopefully be like, hey, we need to actually cancel this order. Can we just deny delivery? Let me fill out whatever paperwork you need for that. So that little affirm loan or whatever gets canceled that he took out. So that's what I'm hoping right now, but I don't know. Otherwise, I'll have to go through Amazon to the return because, damn, I don't want to deal with Walmart no more. Walmart making things complicated and confusing for me. For me specifically. And now that I've wasted the first 6 minutes of this video talking shit on Walmart, let's get on with The Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum with pictures by W.W. Dinslow. I will try my best to add in chapters if I remember to do so. If not, y'all leave it in the comments and I will go back and do it. I read chapter 3 this morning. I'm going to chapter 4, The Road Through the Forest, which is on page 28. Once again, I love these things. So it seems like we got a scarecrow, a painter painting the scarecrow's face, and a gentleman like observing going, yes, I approve or disapprove, blah, 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 blah. So welcome back to The Wizard of Oz. Enjoy my Southern accent, which I am allowing to go through because Dorothy is from Kansas. After a few hours, the road began to be rough, and the walking grew so difficult that the scarecrow often stumbled over the yellow brick, which were very uneven. Sometimes, indeed, they were broken or missing altogether, leaving holes that Toto jumped across and Dorothy walked around. As for the scarecrow, having no brains, he walked straight ahead and so stepped into the holes and fell at full length on the hard bricks. It never hurt him, however, and Dorothy would pick him up and set him upon his feet again, while he joined her in laughing merrily at his own mishap. The farms were not nearly so cared for here as they were farther back. There were fewer houses and fewer fruit trees, and farther they went, the more dismal and lonesome the country became. At noon they sat down by the roadside near a little brook, and Dorothy opened her basket and got out some bread. She offered a piece to the scarecrow, but he refused. "I am never hungry," he said, "and it is a lucky thing that I am not, for my mouth is only painted, and if I should cut a hole in it so I could eat, the straw I am stuffed with would come out, and that would spoil the shape of my head." Dorothy saw at once that this was true, so she only nodded and went on eating her bread. "Tell me something about yourself and the country you came from," said the scarecrow when she had finished her dinner. So she told him all about Kansas, and the gray everything was there, and how the cyclone had carried her to this queer land of Oz. The scarecrow listened carefully and said, "I cannot understand why you should wish to leave this beautiful country and go back to the dry, gray place you call Kansas." And just heads up, this story was written in 1900s. Like 1900 itself is when The Wizard of Oz was written. Queer in the 1900s. At the time this was written, it doesn't mean gay. It means odd or strange. I'm just laying that out just in case anyone isn't aware of what queer used to mean. That's why they began calling homosexuals queer, I'm pretty sure, because they were odd or strange to them. And so the word just became synonymous with that later on. But in 1900, it just means odd or strange. That is because you have no brains, answered the girl. No matter how dreary and gray our homes are, we people of flesh and blood would rather live there than in any other country, be it ever so beautiful. There is no place like home. The Scarecrow cried. Of course I cannot understand it. If your heads were stuffed with straw like mine, you would probably all live in the beautiful places, and then Kansas would have no people at all. It is fortunate for Kansas that you have brains. Won't you tell me a story while we are resting? Asked the child. The Scarecrow looked at her reproachfully and answered, My life has been so short that I really know nothing whatsoever. I was only made day before yesterday. What happened in the world before that time is all unknown to me. Luckily, when the farmer made my head, one of the first things he did was paint my ears, so that I heard what was going on. There was another munchkin with him. The first thing I heard was the farmer saying, How do you like those ears? I like that, so the Scarecrow was only made the day before yesterday. So when she found him, he had only been up there for like a day, if that. I like how like Toto is over here eyeing her sandwich. And even though like Wizard of Oz is meant to be very colorful, the colors they use are very limited. So like we've got like this blue ink prop inking here. Toto he seems like he's inked in black, or it's blue ink and they put the orange under or above it to make him look darker in black. Because that's what it seems to be over here with Dorothy on these lines, which I found really interesting. I enjoy this art, though my husband was not a fan. They aren't straight, answered the other. Never mind, said the farmer. Their ears just the same. Which was true enough, so that man was judging his painting skills. Now I'll make the eyes, said the farmer. So he painted my right eye, and as soon as it was finished, I found myself looking at him and everything around me with a great deal of curiosity, for this was my first glimpse of the world. That's a rather pretty eye, remarked the munchkin who was watching the farmer. Blue paint is just the color for eyes. Y'all's favorite color is blue. I think I'll make the other a little bigger, said the farmer, and when the second eye was done, I could see much better than before. Then he made my nose and my mouth. But I did not speak, because at that time I didn't know what a mouth was for. I had the fun of watching them make my body and my arms and my legs, and when they fastened on my head at last, I felt very proud, for I thought I was just as good a man as anyone. This fellow will scare the crows fast enough, said the farmer. He looks just like a man. Why, he is a man, said the other, and I quite agreed with him. The farmer carried me under his arm to the cornfield and set me up on a tall stick where you found me. He and his friends soon after walked away and left me alone. I did not like to be deserted this way, so I tried to walk after them, but my feet would not touch the ground, and I was forced to stay on that pole. It was a lonely life to lead, for I had nothing to think of, having been made much a little while before. Many crows and other birds flew into the cornfield, but as soon as they saw me, they flew away again, thinking I was a munchkin. And this pleased me, and made me feel that I was quite an important person. By and by an old crow flew near me, and after looking at me carefully, he perched upon my shoulder and said, "I wonder if that farmer thought to fool me in this clumsy manner. Any crow of sense could see that you are only stuffed with straw." Then he hopped down at my feet and ate all the corn he wanted. The other birds, seeing he was not harmed by me, came to eat the corn too. So in a short time there was a great flock of them about me. I felt sad at this, for it showed I was not such a good scarecrow after all, but the old crow confronted me, saying, "If you only had brains in your head, you would be as good a man as any of them, and a better man than some of them. Brains are the only things worth having in this world, no matter whether one is a crow or a man." After the crows had gone, I thought this over, and I decided I would try hard to get some brains. By good luck, you came along and pulled me off the stake. And from what you say, I am sure the great Oz will give me brains as soon as we get to the Emerald City. "I hope so," said Dorothy earnestly, "since you seem anxious to have them." "Oh yes, I am anxious," returned the Scarecrow. "It is such an uncomfortable feeling to know one is a fool." "Well," said the girl, "let us go," and she handed the basket to the Scarecrow. Something I'm realizing, while the Scarecrow is aware he's a fool, and he feels uncomfortable about it, isn't the true fool the one who does not know he is a fool? Though they do say ignorance is bliss. Glancing out this window, no delivery truck yet. I do know it is being delivered through FedEx based off of the trucking number. So I am hoping FedEx does not, hire non-FedEx truck delivery drivers. There were no fences at all by the roadside now, and the land was roughed and untilled. Toward evening they came to a great forest, where the trees grew so big and close together that their branches met over the road of yellow brick. It was almost dark under the trees, for the branches shut out the daylight, but the travelers did not stop and went into the forest. I wonder if we get the talking trees soon. "If this road goes in, it must come out," said the Scarecrow. "And as the Emerald City is at the other end of the road, we must go wherever it leads us." "Anyone would know that," said Dorothy. "Certainly. That is why I know it," returned the Scarecrow. "If it required brains to figure it out, I never should have said it." After an hour or so, the light faded away, and they found themselves stumbling along in the darkness. Dorothy could not see at all, but Toto could, for some dogs see very well in the dark. And the Scarecrow declared he could see as well as by day. So she took hold of his arm and managed to get along fairly well. "If you see any house or any place where we can pass the night," she said, "you must tell me, for it is very uncomfortable walking in the dark." Soon after, the Scarecrow stopped. "I see a little carriage at the right of us," he said, "built of logs and branches. Shall we go there?" "Yes, indeed," answered the child. "I am all tired out." So the Scarecrow led her through the trees until they reached the cottage, and Dorothy entered and found a bed of dried leaves in one corner. She laid down at once, and with Toto beside her, she fell into a sound sleep. The Scarecrow, who was never tired, stood up in another corner and waited patiently until morning came. So this is chapter 4 right here. We are going to end this video here. These chapters are awfully short, but you know what? It is a story meant for children, written it was published in 1900 exactly, at the turn of the century, so makes sense. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching, listening along. You're all wonderful and awesome. All of y'all stay safe, stay healthy. Remember to drink plenty of water. It is ultra super duper important and all that good jazz. And I will once again try to remember to put whatchamacallits chapters in the description so that you guys know which is which. Alright, bye-bye!